Hello everyone and welcome to this week's IG Live. Happy Halloween, happy Diwali, and I'm excited to be here for another week of a wonderful interview we have for you. And here I've got my Steena actually convinced me because I got to see her. Today's guest has a really cute costume, so she convinced me. Going to be talking to you, we often talk about representation in children's books, and she's going to be talking to us about a different kind of representation, which is representation in the arts, and specifically performing arts and dance. So hello and welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. I love your hat.
Thanks. I saw your outfit and I was like, okay, I've got to do something. So it's a little rumpled, but I've got it.
Great. Happy
So
Halloween to those who celebrate. Celebrating.
Well, thank you for being here today. Why don't we just jump right in and you can tell us what was your journey to becoming an author?
Yeah, so growing up, I wanted to be a dancer and a performer. It wasn't until after having kids that I decided I wanted to write stories, to be a writer. I was taking my kids to the library so much, and we were checking out lots of books, and my kids they had a story time and they would do a little craft and everything. So we just kept going and we were there all the time. And I noticed in time that they would be asleep, done with story time, fast asleep, and I'm still up reading picture books by myself till 1 or 2 in the morning.
Wow.
Oh, I love these little stories I say that are so big sometimes, that have such big messages a lot of the time. And so, I just fell in love, and I asked myself the question, like, can I write one of these too? And then that was it. I started putting down my ideas, and yeah, ever since then I've been writing stories.
I love it. And I also was really curious because you're new maybe to writing picture books, but you've been in the arts for a long time. Like you said, you're a singer, a dancer. And so I'm curious because I know you've talked about how you've always been a storyteller through performance. Was it a shift to start doing it in writing? Like, did you see a lot of continuity there, or was it really difficult to change to a different medium?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of similarities, and I feel like I fell into it just a little more naturally, maybe, is how I felt. Through dance, you tell a story.
Interesting.
In college, we did like a lyrical version of Carmen. And I mean, that's a really dramatic story,
Right.
And then in theater, specifically with characters, like it's not just reciting the lines when you're on stage. You really do have to know your character very well, and for to play the role. And similarly to writing a story, where you really do really have to know your character really well. And so yeah, I think I draw from a lot of those, a lot of but there's so much parallel and similarities to the world, and to me, when I'm writing, I can feel that.
I can definitely see that. And well, congratulations. For those that don't know, of course, Lupita's brown ballet slippers came out very recently. Oh, so beautiful. Tell us all about your book and what was the inspiration behind it?
So Lupita's brown ballet slippers is about a little girl named Lupita who is getting ready for her big dance recital, and her pink traditional ballet slippers don't quite match her skin. So she's feeling very sad about the upcoming performance. So she searches for the right pair, and you'll have to read the book to see how it turns out, to see how her big day turns out.
Yes, no spoilers, but I know you said that the book is partly based on your own experiences. So in your experience, how much do you think, oh, nice comment, love this book. How much do you think the industry has changed over the years to be more inclusive, but what still needs to be done? I mean, is this something that's still happening?
Yeah, so I think that we've seen more diversity in the industry, and there's definitely still room for more inclusion. I think it's I think it's gone very slow. In only in 2018 did companies start creating point shoes in various shades or dark skin tones. So yeah, I have one here. And I find that like some companies have a large variety of shades and some don't. So, you know, maybe we're still seeing dancers pancaking. It's still, I mean, 2018 wasn't that long ago, like I said. So, I mean, I think there's still work to be done. And breaking the standard way of how it's always been when it's not just that anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is really interesting, as I mentioned in the beginning, kind of the parallels that we often talk about, the diversity, the need for more diversity in children's books, and yet you're kind of tying it into this wider issue of diversity in the arts, which I think is so interesting to kind of tie those two together.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And another thing that I think your book teaches, as you say, is it teaches that all kids deserve to shine. So why is it so important for kids to have a book like this?
Yes, that is the main message of the book. Everyone deserves to shine. I just believe that in my heart. So that line really just came out when I was writing. And, you know, I pictured Lupita on the stage, you know, just embracing who she was. It's important, I think, for children to feel that they matter and to see themselves in the story, where the character is strong and determined like they can be. And it's important that they feel special and included.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. What a great message for kids to get. And I also love how Lupita, she shows such determination, that I think it shows her as being like a real protagonist of going and making the changes to find that right pair of dancing shoes. So what do you hope children take away from your book?
So at the heart of the book is a love of dance book. It's a dance book, but I hope that no matter what a child is involved in, what extracurricular activity, sport, whatever they choose, I hope that they walk away feeling empowered and proud of who they are.
Yeah. And I love that you mentioned that this is not just, of course, obviously this is for kids who love dance, but not just for kids who love dance. It's really a message you can take into any activity.
I hope so.
Yes, yes. And I'm curious, I know it just came out recently, but have you had a chance to do mini visits like with kids? Like what kind of reaction have you gotten?
So only so far at my launch event, my launch party, there were several kids there. I was so excited. Some of them, you know, my friends and neighbors have children, and they came out, and we did a little craft. Someone had asked if we had danced, and I'm like, we didn't dance, but I want to do some dancing. I have a school visit coming up, and so I want to incorporate some of that. I think that would be fun. But I think so far at the launch, the children that were there and the activity that we did together, I think it's fun. I think there's, the activity was about how you shine. So again, like no matter what, I understand there may be, children there that don't do ballet, but in anything that they choose, that they can see themselves shining in their own way. And so it was a little art activity where they could draw themselves on stage. And I think my daughter drew herself with a violin. She plays violin. And then our little friend's son drew himself drumming. And I just thought it was so cute. That's something I think that I can use also in the classroom. That was really fun to see.
Yeah. And I love how the kids that they made the connection that in whatever activity they're doing, that everyone deserves to shine and to be able to do things the way that works for them. So that's lovely.
Yeah, thank you.
And are you going to continue in this vein, you think, with future books? Do you think you're going to continue like with the theme of the arts, or do you have an idea of what's coming next? I know this one just came out, so I don't want to.
This one just came out. I am writing something. Now you've got me thinking. I am working on something new that I'm really excited about, and it kind of not dance, but something performance wise. And so, yeah, I guess maybe that's, the topic I really love. Um, but yeah, so I'm excited about that. And I don't know what's next. I'm on sub with a picture book manuscript right now and a middle grade novel in verse. So I'm just writing. And, one of my really good writing friends was talking to her yesterday, and we were, trying to work through the rejections. And sometimes we feel down, and I just say all the time, just like, let's just keep learning, let's keep writing, and let's keep going. And
Yes.
yeah, and like those words really stick with me. And like that's how I got to this book. So I know that it does work.
Mhm.
I know it works. But it's just a matter of like keeping that positive, those positive thoughts going in your mind at all
Yeah.
times.
Well, and you have a lovely comment. More books, Steena. Yes. So people want it, but I also want to thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of times, people see you and you're successful and have a book published, and they don't necessarily know the struggles behind it. So I think that's really helpful for any potential authors out there to know that it's not just, that there's a long path and you have a lot of rejections. So that's something to stay positive, that you do also have the successes there.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you.
And that actually leads into my last question, which was, first I should mention you won Vivian Kirkfield her 50 Precious Words contest in 2022. Shout out to Vivian Kirkfield, who was a guest on our show a while back. You're also a PB Party honorable mention, and you were chosen as a Las Musas Hermana mentee, and now you are a member of the Las Musas Latinx Collective. So, as an author or a potential author, um, what does it mean to you to have those kind of opportunities? Because I love this idea of these published authors who are having contests, having mentorships. What does it mean to you to have that kind of support?
Yeah, those three things that you just mentioned, those are big moments in my journey as I was just starting out around that time, and about 20, probably the end of 20, or maybe the beginning of 2021, when I really started getting serious about writing picture books specifically. And then I think, yeah, Vivian Kirkfield, when I saw my name, that she had chosen my entry, I mean, that meant everything. I mean, that was a really big moment that I'll never forget. And she's amazing. And the contest is so big. I mean, so many people enter. So that was incredible, an incredible feeling. It gave me the confidence to keep going with my writing.
Mhm.
And that's when I thought, wow, maybe I can do this, And so I kept going. And then PB Party was actually Lupita's. That was the honorable mention, was one of my earlier versions of Lupita that, and although I didn't make it into the showcase, because it was an honorable mention, it was a big moment, that again, that I was recognized for this story. And so that after that, I said, okay, I'm going to keep going again, just more confidence to do that. And that's really big for me. I really feel that really strongly.
Yeah.
So then I applied for the Las Musas mentorship, and Jennifer Torres, amazing author person, was my mentor, and for this story. And she always believed in this story and just always, encouraged me to keep going, and just said kind things to help me. And so it means everything to me. So those three moments, I'll never forget.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I mean, that's so important for, I think, for prospective, I shouldn't say potential, prospective authors. And we do have a question.
Okay.
One is, will you write a safari picture book now? Are you teasing us with what's coming?
I love
And follow up to that, does the snake bite?
this 7. You never know. Right now, 7's acting okay. But Steena, so it's Safari Steena. So now I'm thinking about this character, you never know. I never say never, you know.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yes. Follow her on Instagram and then you'll see. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. And it is so exciting having your book come out. And of course, we'll be watching. Oh, I'm here for it. Yes, me too. So thank you for taking. I'm sure it's busy now with the book launch. So we appreciate you stopping by to talk about it. And congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. Happy Halloween to everyone who.
Happy Halloween. Happy Diwali. Thank you all for joining us. If you did join us late, this is going to be up in a few minutes on Instagram, and then later we'll have both parts put together for YouTube. Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.